The heart of London throbbed, February 3rd, 2025. Not with the usual rhythm of the city. This was a different beat, a call to arms. Thousands descended upon Trafalgar Square, a sea of faces, united in anger. Their champion, Tommy Robinson, their cause, freedom. The air crackled with defiance. A modern-day showdown, the people versus the establishment. The old rules no longer applied. This was a new era, an era of distrust. An era where the silenced found their voice. Tommy Robinson, a name whispered in pubs, debated online, shouted in the streets. His crime? Speaking his truth, exposing the uncomfortable realities ignored by the mainstream. His documentary resonated with millions. 157 million impressions on X, a testament to the hunger for unfiltered truth. But truth, it seemed, was a dangerous commodity. Robinson's voice was deemed a threat. The powers that be sought to silence him. 18 months, a harsh sentence, a message sent. Dissent would not be tolerated. London, a melting pot of cultures, beliefs, and ideas. But beneath the surface, a chasm had formed. On one side, the establishment, the government, the media, the institutions. On the other, the people. Ordinary men and women feeling increasingly ignored, betrayed. The Labour Party under Keir Starmer had promised unity, yet many felt a sense of alienation, their concerns dismissed, their values trampled. Tommy Robinson's imprisonment became a lightning rod, a symbol of a system rigged against them. Solitary confinement. A cruel fate. Imagine being locked away, isolated from the world, with nothing but your own thoughts to keep you company. The walls close in, the silence becomes deafening, and the mind starts to play tricks. It's a form of punishment that many argue is inhumane, yet it continues to be used in prisons around the world. 23 hours a day, Robinson endured. Alone with his thoughts. Each minute felt like an eternity. The ticking of the clock was his only companion, a constant reminder of the time he had lost and the time he had yet to serve. The isolation was meant to break him, to strip away his humanity and leave him a shell of his former self. A punishment reserved for the most dangerous criminals. Or was it? In reality, solitary confinement is often used as a tool of control, a way to silence dissent and maintain order within the prison system. It's a method that has been criticized by human rights organizations and mental health experts alike, yet it persists. His supporters saw it for what it was. They rallied together, raising their voices in protest, demanding justice for Robinson. They knew that this was not about keeping the prison safe, but about silencing a man who had dared to speak out against the system. Their signs and chants echoed through the streets, a testament to their unwavering support. A blatant attempt to break his spirit, to silence him permanently. The authorities hoped that by isolating him, they could crush his resolve and make an example out of him. But Robinson was stronger than they anticipated. Despite the psychological torture, he held on to his beliefs, refusing to be silenced. The psychological torture was immeasurable. Deprived of human contact, of sunlight, of hope, this was not justice, this was vengeance. The effects of such treatment are long-lasting, often leaving individuals with deep emotional scars that take years to heal if they ever do. The lack of interaction and the constant darkness can lead to severe depression, anxiety, and even hallucinations. This was not justice, this was vengeance. A system designed to rehabilitate had instead become one that inflicted pain and suffering. The line between punishment and cruelty had been crossed, and the consequences were devastating. Robinson's story is just one of many, a stark reminder of the need for reform in our prison systems. A chilling reminder of the power of the state, the ability to control, to punish, to silence. It's a power that must be wielded with care, yet all too often, it is abused. The case of Robinson highlights the dangers of unchecked authority and the importance of accountability in our justice system. A power used not to protect, but to silence, to suppress dissent and maintain control. It's a sobering reality that we must confront if we are to create a more just and humane society. Robinson's ordeal serves as a powerful reminder of the need for change and the importance of standing up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. Section 5. A modern-day maverick. Enter Elon Musk, a disruptor, a champion of free speech. He recognized the injustice of Robinson's case, amplified his story on X, contributed to his legal costs, a beacon of hope in a sea of darkness. Musk's involvement galvanized the movement. He understood the importance of free speech, the right to dissent, and the right to challenge the narrative. He became a symbol of resistance against the encroaching censorship. Section 6. The media blackout. An eerie silence emanated from the mainstream media, the largest protest in London for years, thousands upon thousands marching for freedom. Yet the BBC, The Guardian, Channel 4, they all remained silent. A deafening silence. How could they ignore such a spectacle? The answer was simple. They were complicit. They had chosen their side, the side of the establishment, the side that sought to control the narrative, the side that feared the truth. Section 7. Cowgirls for Freedom. Imagine, if you will, a scene from the Wild West. The dusty streets, the wooden saloons, the sound of horses' hooves clattering on the ground. It's a time and place where the spirit of freedom and adventure was palpable, where the frontier was a symbol of endless possibilities and uncharted territories. But instead of dusty streets and saloons, picture the heart of London. The bustling cityscape, the iconic landmarks, the blend of history and modernity. Imagine this vibrant metropolis as the new frontier, where the battle for freedom is being waged not with guns and horses, but with voices and determination. Leading the charge, not grizzled cowboys, but fierce, determined women. Cowgirls for freedom. Their Stetsons held high, their eyes blazing with resolve. These women are the modern-day pioneers, carving out a space for justice and equality in a world that often tries to silence them. Their voices echoing with righteous anger. They shout, they chant, they make their presence known. Each word they speak is a declaration of their unyielding spirit, a testament to their unwavering commitment to the cause of freedom. These were not women to be trifled with. Their strength is evident in their stance, their confidence in their gaze. They are warriors in their own right, fighting a battle that is as old as time itself, the battle for their rights, their dignity, their freedom. They were mothers, daughters, sisters, each one of them carrying the weight of their own stories, their own struggles. They come from different walks of life, but they are united by a common purpose. They stand together, a formidable force that cannot be ignored. They understood the value of freedom. They knew what it meant to live without it, to have their voices suppressed, their rights denied. They had tasted the bitterness of oppression, and they were determined to never let it happen again. They had seen it eroded. They had witnessed the slow, insidious ways in which their freedoms were taken away, piece by piece. They had felt the sting of injustice, the pain of being silenced. And they had decided that enough was enough. They were fighting for their children's future. They knew that the battle they were waging was not just for themselves, but for the generations to come. They wanted their children to grow up in a world where freedom was a given, not a privilege. A world where they could speak their minds, pursue their dreams, and live their lives without fear. A future where dissent was not a crime, where the right to speak out, to challenge the status quo, was protected and cherished. These cowgirls for freedom were not just fighting for their own rights, but for the very soul of their society. They were the torchbearers of a new era, lighting the way for a future where freedom and justice prevailed. Section 8. Justice delayed, justice denied. The protest reached its crescendo outside Downing Street. The seat of power, the chants of Free Tommy Robinson, reverberated off the walls. But would anyone listen? Would anyone care? The answer, for now, remained elusive. But one thing was certain. The fight was far from over. The people had found their voice, and they would not be silenced. Not anymore. Section 9. The fight continues. In the heart of the Wild West, where the spirit of rebellion was born, the fight for justice and freedom rages on. The dusty streets and old saloons may seem quiet now, but echoes of past struggles still linger in the air. The protest may be over, the banners may have been taken down, and the crowds may have dispersed, yet the remnants of their defiance are scattered like whispers in the wind, a testament to the battles fought and the voices that refused to be silenced. But the spirit of defiance lived on. In the hearts of those who stood their ground, in the eyes of those who dared to dream, and in the hands of those who held the flickering flame of hope, the fight continues. Tommy Robinson's plight resonated with millions. His struggle became a symbol, a rallying cry for those who felt unheard and unseen. His name, etched in the annals of history, became synonymous with the fight for truth and justice. It exposed the fault lines in society, the divisions that ran deep, the opposing ideologies that clashed like titans, and the simmering tensions that threatened to boil over. It was a stark reminder of the work that still needed to be done, the growing distrust of institutions, the whispers of conspiracy, the glances of suspicion, and the reluctance to engage with those in power. It was a sign of the times, a reflection of a society grappling with its own identity, the erosion of free speech, the voices that were silenced, the opinions that were stifled, and the truths that were buried. It was a battle for the very soul of the nation, a fight to reclaim the right to speak freely and openly. The fight for freedom is a marathon, not a sprint. It is a journey that requires endurance, a path that demands perseverance, and a struggle that calls for unwavering commitment. It is a long and winding road, but one that must be traveled. It requires courage, resilience, and unwavering belief, the strength to stand tall in the face of adversity, the resilience to keep going when the going gets tough, and the belief that justice will prevail. These are the qualities that define the true fighters. The road ahead may be long, the challenges may be many, and the obstacles may seem insurmountable. But with each step taken, with each stride made, the goal comes closer into view. The journey is arduous, but the destination is worth the struggle. But the spirit of the Wild West, the spirit of rebellion, the spirit of those who dared to defy the odds, lives on. It is a spirit that cannot be broken, a flame that cannot be extinguished, and a legacy that will endure through the ages. The spirit of Tommy Robinson will not be broken. His legacy, his fight, and his unwavering determination will continue to inspire generations to come. The fight continues, and so does the hope for a better, freer world.